My first part after I kind of finalized my initial sound as far as the stereo bus, which is including compression and EQing, is dive into the drums. So the track has like one part of the second chorus. That's the part that has more drums going on at the same time. So I want to take that part as a peak of the track, allow me to really challenge myself with a lot of information at the same time as far as the drums. So let's play this part and just solo the drums. So if you take a look really quick on the multi-analyzer, it gives you a sense what we have. Now, this is before analog, but even if it was before analog, we have an idea as far as like the placement. So we have very like long tail on the kick, and that's the way that's supposed to be in this track, kind of like relax with a long tail and a lot of harmonics on the kick. We have a lot of information on our low percussion. We don't have high percussion on this part, beside small sound that are happening and the live drum that happening during the verse. Now, what I'm looking is to make sure that I don't have too much overlapping as far as frequencies. First, I trust my ears, and then when I don't trust my ears 100%, I'll take a look on the analyzer. As far as the busing, the kick, the low, and the high percussion, they're individual buses, all go into the 2-bus plus. But now, when I go into the 2-bus plus, the 2-bus plus become our drum bus as a summing. So his job is essentially to treat individual parts, and the kick has some inserts, some internal processing, some outboard processing, but then the drums entirely has some additional processing. So let's start checking what we have from the analog side, and then we're gonna go back into the box to see what I did on the individual tracks. My Dangerous 2-bus plus is essentially my drum bus in this case, and my channel 1 and 2 is my kick channel. The 2-bus plus give me option to turn mono, the 1 and 2, and the 9 and 10. Then the 1 and 2, it's always for kick. In 9 and 10 is for bass. Now, as far as the kick is a mono element, but for some reason, turn left and right in the center on the analog domain just sounds better than doing in the box. Let me play for you with or without the mono, and you can tell. So it's going up about 3.5 dB because we are summing what is left and right in the center. But beside the jump as far as dBs, there's a certain thickness, a consistency you have in the center it's hard for me to replicate in the box. So that's the kick. Now, the 1314, in most of the time, my percussion channel, because I have the parallel limiter function, then I can add into the percussion. The parallel limiter, it's kind of like 1176 with all the button in, or like 20:1 ratio type of sound in parallel. So let me exaggerate what it's doing, and let me take it out. You can tell the difference. Let me exaggerate. So without even squash the entire high percussion and overall percussions, I feel that what it does is just bring low-level information on the drums up to the surface. It does really well. So let's bypass the mono and the parallel limiter for a second. So we have more details on the top and a thicker low end on the kick. Also, we have a transformer option, which is pretty amazing because you can blend in a little bit of transformer. And you might want to have like good speakers or good headphones to listen, but you're gonna feel the entire drums to get a little bit of second harmonics that's really, really good on the entire drum as far as gluing together. So let's check it out. Very cool. As far as inserts on the drum bus, we have an insert point before the output level, and the insert point is going to our mid-side insert unit from Errol. The mid-side insert, we have options. In this case, I use a compressor insert 1 and EQ insert 3. The compressor insert 1 is the Audio R1200 that I use for ages, and it's a very old, early 80s radio station. Like, it was made for, I guess, voiceover for radio station. So it's very slow compressor, but I tend to use only on mid, not on side. Why I don't want to compress too much the side on drums? Because I don't want to lose the relationship between the fast transient of hi-hat, snare, and clap, and any reverb that's being added by the producer on those sounds. So I just want to glue a little bit the mid and don't touch the side. So let's go with it without compression. To me, it sounds like more refined, little bit more extension of each transient from the kick to the snare, a little more organic. Another interesting feature that I have here, I can filter the mid and the side in a different way. So in this case, I'm cutting a lot of high frequency on the side, and I'm shaving a little bit on the mid as well. Doing this way, I'm able to avoid fighting frequency on the side information and avoid phasing over 5-6K. That's what I'm cutting in this case. So as far as my external insert, 1 is compressor, and 3 in this case is the Neumann EQ that we have here on the rack. The Neumann, it's like an amazing EQ, especially the mid-range and the top ends. Let's play and let's go in and out from just for the Neumann. You hear probably more refined hi-hat. It's more like more shape and more in the front, snare and clap. Now, the combination of the EQ and compression, that become like one thing in some way. Let me exaggerate in some area so you can tell a little bit more about what it's doing. It's interesting because it's a 2 dB steps EQ, and even when I go very high and I push 12 dB on the high, it's always pleasant. So it's a very, very good EQ. On the same chain, I have an insert on my kick drum. The insert is the PL2. And I know it's strange, but I'm able to do over 10 dB of limiting just on the kick. And what it does to me, it's take the kick, shave a little bit the attack of the kick, extend a little bit the tail of the kick, and just get more solid with the drums. Less peaky, it's just more like round, if I can describe. Let's go in and out with the kick limiter. Very nice. All right, let's go back to the session.